However, the street church wasn't always disliked by the city.
Well, at the beginning, we have been approached by the city, and they said that it's awesome what we are doing. They really love it, and I have a quotation here from bylaw Bill Bruce that said he's quite happy to see that the area of green space, often frequented by drug users, being put to positive use, and he will even be sending an officer or two down to see if the church needs any assistance. So that's one. We have been approached by city that they said they love what we're doing. By Teresa from Parks Department, we've met with her, and she says, we like what you're doing, we want to give you a permit for every day because we like what you're doing so much. And I said, no, we just need 3 days for amplification. It's enough for us. You know, some of the footage you see, congregation, you know, preaching, bringing to the poor. You got festivals with homeless people in the park. Baptism in the river. We did, you see, one of the stories we received, Street Church brings hope to the homeless. We have been covered, and the people really loved it, and the city loved it. And then something happened. You know, we did many festivals, and we brought the biggest screen TV in entire North America, and we played the Passion of Christ in that park for them. And we had homeless weeping, and then I got arrested for publicly reading Bible. I got dragged like a criminal, handcuffed behind. The officer almost broke my arm, and for days I had bruises, and I spent night in jail. But that was actually very good because I preached all night, and there was some people receiving Christ and were singing hymns. It was awesome. I felt like ambassador. This is an interesting one because it says can't use a loudspeaker, but you can, you know, permit. Hey, wait a second, this isn't. It's a permit to smoke crack. So it seems that the drug dealers and drug addicts are okay to break the law, but preachers that feed the poor and take them off the streets and speak against drugs are not allowed.
So what caused city officials to all of a sudden change their minds about the street church? Art says he can trace the trouble back to one specific incident.
And then two men came, very well dressed. I know them from Bankers Hall. So they look like $1 million people, you know what I mean? Like perfectly dressed. And they said, we hate you, we hate this cross, and we will make the officials crazy until they kick you out from here. Since that moment, we had bylaw officers showing up. So the bylaw officers came and they said, we have complaints about the noise. So we are going to investigate this. And they went to the areas in question, they investigated, and they came back with those reports. We received those reports from the Court of Queen's Bench. So it's a legal documents that we received. This is a sworn affidavit of an officer acting in behalf of the city of Calgary, Andrew Bissett affidavit. He states here that the complaints were investigated by his officers, and they came back with these statements. Found the ministry to be in compliance with the issued park permits. Another one. Found the ministry to be in compliance with the issued park permits. Found the ministry to be in compliance. In compliance with the issued permits.
As the street church continues to be surrounded in controversy, Art says they will continue to feed the homeless and bring them to salvation.
We come to them and we say, under the charter, they have a right to receive those necessities. They cannot obtain them on their own because of their state. So we have to provide them with those necessities. And that's why we feed them and clothe them and take them off the streets when they are freezing to death. You know how many people we took off the streets when they were dying, or called the ambulance or police? You know how many people came committing suicide that we had to take from the river? We even caught a person, a woman, jumping from the bridge in air by the grace of God. She jumped and a man grabbed her, committing suicide. Because they're desperate. They see the government ignoring their rights. They treated like animals, and they lost hope. And suddenly we come in and they grab this hope and they said, you know what? Not everyone is as bad. Not everyone is as rotten. Someone cares. Someone loves me. And that's the hope that enters them.
And I finally contacted my parents in over 6 months. And I pray every time. My prayers were answered. My prayers were answered.